Hey, Jesus, my cup. Anyway, listen up. Things don't happen to you, they happen through you. And how you're gonna stop all these things you don't like is by simply saying, I'm tired. Nimechoka na sitangoja. No matter where you are, nimechoka. Things don't happen to you, they happen through you. And how you can make sense of this is by realizing that all you have to do is say, I'm tired. Now listen, I'm not telling you to give up. What I'm telling you to do is to deny that reality your energy. Listen, I'm not just regurgitating things I read online or like I watched. Deny your reality the energy it desires from you. Understand one thing. Realities are like exes. Yeah? Oh my goodness. Realities. I hope you can see. I hope you can see. It's way too high. There? Perfect. Realities are like exes. So every reality that you've been in, everything you've ever gone through, understand that you had a relationship. You had a relationship. You don't believe me? You had a relationship with who? With the reality. And now that you want to get out of that relationship, you're basically telling that reality, I don't want you anymore. Sikutaki. And that reality says what? You will want me. I beg, you will want me. You think you're going to leave me. You will want me because I am your everything. I am your everything. You see that toxic ex who thinks they're everything. That toxic ex who thinks your life broke because you left them. That toxic ex is this reality. So understand that when things happen, they don't happen to you. They happen through you. So every single time you want to leave a specific situation, a specific person, anything that you want to stop experiencing, any person, any place, understand that you are literally walking out of a relationship. And just like toxic exes, they will not leave you alone. And that is why every single time you want to get out of something or out of a certain place, or you want to get rid of someone, for some reason, they get stuck on you. They stick to you like glue. It's because they literally have energy attached to it. So what are we gonna do? Because now we've realized, no, they don't happen to you, they happen through you. It's about saying, I'm tired. You see the way you get tired with that boy from class and you tell him, you know what, I'm tired, don't talk to me. Exactly. When you say you are tired, what you do is you deny that reality, your energy, because you are literally cutting it off. Like we say, when you cut off people, you deny them your energy. That is what happens. When you cut off that reality, you cut off that ex and you deny them your energy. And this is where the constant push, that constant pull comes in. This is when you start feeling a lot of resistance, a lot of fear, and a lot of anxiety. Because understand one thing, every reality you've been through, everything you've ever dealt with, it had a frequential value. It literally had a frequential value. And what happens is, for example, let me give you a very good example. You want to walk away from a job you don't like. Give it a frequential value of 98. Yeah? And the reality you want for yourself is you want to be self-employed, you want to be a creative, you want to go out and explore yourself. That's another frequential value of like 120%. What happens? You're literally leaving one room and entering another. And for you to enter this room, first of all, you're going to need energy. But how are you going to get energy to get to 120 when all your energy is being expended on the 98? First thing is you're going to cut off that reality. Second thing is you're going to find a way of replenishing your energy in order to meet that deficit to get to 120. That is why walking out of reality sometimes feels difficult, because it is. Yeah? It's easy, but it's not easy at the same time. Man, I wanted to do this with a whiteboard for the long. Akinimetamani. There's this song. Skama vip nataka kwenda nawe. Na 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 minolia nae. Sikama vipi twende wote tamashani. Hani twende tukape. Basi nenda chumbani tuvae. Nimekubali tu mimi kwenda nawe. Ni furaha kuwa nawe tamashani. Hani twende tukaple. So what you're gonna do first of all is cut off that reality. Second of all is you're gonna meet that energetic Can you see that top? You know, I've realized this whiteboard is like a bit high. I'm going to adjust it for the next video. But for today, bear with me. bear with me. First of all, is you're gonna cut off that reality in the sense that you are gonna give it no life. Because understand one thing, things exist on the physical plane because we give them access to existence. We give them access to existence. That is why they say, be careful with your words, be careful with your thoughts. Because when you speak, when you think, when you even contemplate, you're giving something permission to exist. So first of all is you cut off reality. I'm not talking about blind denial, but this is going to give you cognitive dissonance and you're going to find yourself crashing out. When I say cut off this reality, I mean to move from a place of acceptance, not giving up. I'm not saying to sit and say, oh, raise your hands and say now, maybe I'm stuck, maybe I'm tired. No. Acceptance from the point of, I accept that I at some point unknowingly brought this thing into existence. And because you created it, you can recreate it. God gives and he can take. What do you think that meant? Exactly, move from a place of acceptance. Once you're able to accept that at some point you created that reality without knowing, nothing exists in your life that you did not call into existence. I know this might sound biased in certain situations, but trust me, nothing exists in your reality that at some point you did not think of, both good and bad. There's no such thing as good and bad, yeah? So once you've cut off that reality in the sense of you've accepted that you created it, and now you realize that because you created it, you have the power to recreate it. Number two is you now feel that energy deficit. Like I said earlier, if that reality that you're going into has a frequential value of 120 and you've been operating at 98 with your X, you're going to have to cut off that X that you have that 98, and then you're going to have to find a way to get to that energetic deficit to fill 120 so that you can go and get that reality. Dream realities are like things in a supermarket. You can't take what you can't afford. You can't go and take a product for $40 when your bank balance is reading 2. It makes no sense. Exactly. So understand that for every reality you want for yourself, you are going to have to afford it. You don't buy realities, you afford them. How? Through your energetic value. Fill that energy deficit. Now this is field number 1 through creation. When I say creation, I mean now you see that reality that you want for yourself. You look at it and now you ask yourself, what is it that I need to create in order to embody that reality? And when I say that, I mean the I am. You remember the statement that I talked about in a previous video, the statement of I am. That is exactly what I'm talking about. I am. What are you? I am this, I am this, I am this. That is exactly what I mean. So when I say that you create, I literally mean you create in the sense that you embody the version of you that is already in that reality. Because when you embody her, you become her. You become her, you experience her. And you experience her, you have everything that she has. Bridge the gap of existence. I am. For some, not everyone can move from a place of creation because everyone is a creative. Some people are extremely heavy logic thinkers, like they want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G up to H. And that is also a good quality. So creation is for the creative people like me, the people who can move from a place of imagination, from a place of soul, from a place of hope. If you know you're an overly logic person, someone who just you don't have the capacity to imagine things, you don't have the capacity to manifest the way people on social media are telling you, you want practical things. You are going to have a clear outline of that reality in your head and possibly on paper. Clearly outlined. For those people of you who are heavy thinkers, yeah, you are going to need steps. And how you're going to get those steps is by having a clear outline of the reality that you want. Because if you are at an energy point of 98 and that reality has 120, once you're able to clearly look at that reality and say it encompasses this and this and this, and you look at it from the point of in that reality I do this and this and this, you're going to be able to figure out what it is that you need to do now to get there in terms of action. Some people start from a place of mind, some people start from a place of action. Whichever point you start it, at the end of the day, the end is inevitable. All paths lead to one, all paths lead to the same truth. Yeah, you feel that energetic deficit. And number 3, just like a stubborn ex will come back after 2-3 years, you need to ensure that you seal the exit. Yeah, not separation. Hey, Jamani, you seal the exit. How do you seal the exit? You consider that reality as a part of your frozen imaginations from the past. Let me put it this way. You seal the exit. Listen, you seal that exit by looking at it as a fragment of your past selves, of your past selves frozen imagination. Yeah, looking at it as a fragment of your past self's frozen imagination. Once you understand that this thing existed because my past self conceptualized it, now you're able to say, you know what, that's a plane, catching planes, not feelings. Let it pass, let it pass. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I've drawn on my pants. Hey, jamani. So I was saying, once you're able to look at it from that point of view, you realize that you can easily cut off certain things because they are no longer a part of you. They do not align with who you are now, and that way you seal the exit. That is why when an ex comes back, if you genuinely, my goodness, if you're genuinely gone through your healing journey, if that ex comes back, the chances of you going back to them or even entertaining them are very minimal. But if an ex comes back and you're not worked on yourself, what is going to happen? You're going to fall for them. You're going to fall for them. Exactly. So sometimes all you have to do is say, you know what? I am tired. Nimechoka na msinibo. See you in the next video.